Dario Sattui is the great-grandson of one of California's first vintners, Vittori Sattui, from whom he learned his deep winemaking skills. It was Dario who reopened the doors of Sattui Vineyards 60 years after it closed for Prohibition and put it back on the map. His other love, though, medieval architecture. He fell in love with it while traveling in Europe in the 70s in an old VW bus, and it never left him. Now, 30 years later, say hello to Castello di Amorosa winery in Calistoga, California. The name means Castle of Love, which is apt for a place built on dreams, love, and passion. The 142,000 square foot castle, which opened to the public 6 years ago, was built with a pro team, including a European vaulted ceiling expert, stonemasons, and fresco artists. What's more, it was done with period-era tools, not modern machining. So the hand-planed doors are made with hand-forged nails, and the bricks and tiles were salvaged and sent over from Europe. And no kidding, standing in the place, I could have sworn I was in any of the castles and palaces I visited in Siena, Italy. And the wine they produce? Oh, sublime. On the day we visited, I was there with a friend as part of a photo shoot. I'd already planned on shooting 2 episodes of The Chat and was setting up for those, and in walked Dario. On a whim, I asked if he'd be willing to sit down and chat with me about what inspired him to build this incredible place, how he kept that dream alive for the 30 years it took to create it, and what he knows for sure as a result of it all. I hope you enjoy meeting Dario Sattui as much as I did. It was one of the most delightful surprises of my entire year. Everybody, it's Karen Hutton and The Chat with Karen Hutton, sound bite-sized insights from some of the coolest people on the planet. And I'm here today at Castello di Amorosa, which is the Castle of Love. And I'm here with the visionary, the artist, the man who did this whole thing. It is unbelievable. Dario Sattui. Did I say that right? Mm-hmm. That's awesome. How are you?
Fine.
This place, I'm fine, thanks. This place, I walked in and my jaw just fell to the ground. And when I looked around, because I've been to Italy and I've been to England and I've seen the castles there, and I've seen lots of attempts by other establishments to do something like this. Yours is over the top incredible. How did this happen? Like, I heard this vision was over many years.
Yeah. First of all, everybody has their dreams and their fantasies. I have mine too, but I try to live mine the best I can. And sometimes I go against the current social thinking, and sometimes that's difficult. But I fell in love with medieval architecture over a period of years, traveling to Europe, principally Italy. I actually bought a castle that belonged to the cousin of the King of Italy about 20-odd years ago, 22 years ago, sold that. Then I bought a monastery. It's over 1,000 years old. I still have that. I've refurbished it.
In Italy?
In Italy. I own part of a castle that we've made into a hotel there. I have a Medici palace. So I have a disease. I had something wrong with me.
Oh, my goodness.
And this was a confluence of several things happening. I used to spend hundreds and hundreds of hours going around looking at castles, churches, palaces, old farmhouses, and I loved it, never thinking I was going to do this. So I gained a lot of knowledge. I took thousands of photographs. I cataloged them by type: chimneys, railings, courtyards, wells, cellars, ceilings, all this stuff. So I really have this innate passion for this. I don't know where it came from. And so when I bought this property, I already knew where to get old materials. I already had a lot of ideas in my head. This is 107 rooms, no two rooms alike, and it's all the ideas I saw over a period of years, principally in Tuscany and Umbria, but also throughout Italy, also Austria, Germany, and France. So I knew where to get materials. I knew where some of the artisans were. I finally found the property, and then I found the guy that showed us how to build it, and we taught the people here to do it. And I think fear of failure is a great motivator. I was already an iconoclast in that I had another winery, Sattui Winery, that did everything different than what you're supposed to do. And a lot of people laughed at me, and and that hurt a little bit when we started. Now a lot of people are trying to copy it because it's been really successful. And so I didn't even tell anybody I was doing this for this is a 15-year project, but for several years I didn't tell anybody. Then people started finding out, and we're building all these caves underground and cellars underground. And so I think partly I wanted to get it right, partly I didn't want to be laughed at. I had some nightmares sometimes thinking, everybody's going to laugh at me over this. I just had to get it right. And I went back to Europe many times just to get, particular details, and I tinkered with my plans. I spent so many evenings tinkering with the plans and refining every little thing and changing things. And I think it came off pretty well.
It's
the
unbelievable.
First day I stood on the drawbridge by the moat, and I thought, will anybody come? And it's turned out to be a great success. We have a tremendous amount of people coming. Our wines are really good. The wines are selling great. So I'm really happy with it. And I didn't do it for the money. I like money, I won't lie. But I did it because something inside of me just made me, it's 15 years of my life, plus all the research.
Right.
And it took a lot more years, but I had so much fun doing it. I couldn't wait to get out of bed every morning.
Oh my God, that's the thing. Our audience is like artists who love what they do and have this passion, and you have that.
And so I'm very pleased, and people, as I say, people responded real well. We've had a lot of luminaries, celebrities here. I watched the faces of our customers. I knew kids would like it, but older people often, they're ecstatic when they leave here. They're smiling and praising, and when they find out I'm there, oh, what a great place. And that makes me feel so good.
Yeah.
And that I did something, in my measly life to give satisfaction to people. So, if I can make $1 and make people happy at the same time, it's a nice thing. And then I wondered, would people come back after they saw it once? And people come back time and again and tell their friends. So I feel pretty good about it.
Wow. Well, tell us about this room. We're sitting in a room that is the banquet hall.
Yes, this I would call the Great Hall, and every castle had one. It was the room in which the ruler tried to impress his friends, his foes, his subjects. It was usually the most sumptuous room. It was the most decorated room. If the owner was going to put money somewhere, he'd put it in this room first, because this is where he inspired fear, he impressed with his power and his wealth. And this is where the ruler would have conducted political affairs, probably judicial affairs, where he'd host important guests, where they would often have their halls. And so I bought a fireplace that's over 500 years old for this room. We studied a lot of books and palaces, and we've found frescoes like this. This is an allegory of love, murder, betrayal, and finally the Duke rides off to the Crusades at the end of the allegory. There's a battle between the English and the Republic of Siena, which Siena won that battle, by the way. Over here it's called the Buon Governo. It's the Palazzo Pubblico of Siena. The town hall used to be the Republic of Siena, regarding good government. The people do what they can to produce for the society, and the government promotes justice and protection for its subjects, so forth. So it's Il Buon Governo, very famous in Siena and in Italy. The original was done in the early 1400s by Lorenzetti. So all throughout, I took frescoes almost exclusively from around the area of Florence and Siena, banners from all the principal, or many of the principal families of the Middle Ages from that era. This is
Love the horses.
this is this is a very famous painting. It's Guido, I can't remember his last name. Look how proud he is. He's riding from Florence to Siena. They've just defeated, finally, Siena. I think it was 1556, the Republic of Siena, from once and all. So he's going there not to negotiate a treaty, but to dictate terms of the treaty. So that was the fall of the Republic of Siena. It was sad, but the people from Siena still remember that and still don't like Florence too much. In any case, so this is the Great Hall.
This is fantastic. And then we have just a couple more minutes, but the artist himself came and painted this. You had
Okay,
found
I
this?
brought over a fellow named Fabio Zanzoni, now lives over here, and he and his brother came from Italy as well. They do fine art, they do opera sets, movie sets, theater sets, so forth, and they painted all the frescoes, all the allegories, and also in some other spots throughout the castle.
And then this table, and table and chair we're sitting at is
Okay, I designed the chairs. The tables I didn't design, but they're replicas of medieval tables, and I wanted everything authentic. The bricks, these are hundreds of years old, each one made by hand. Each brick has its own personality. The furniture, they're replicas, but made in the style of about the 1600. Where we found genuine artifacts. The way we built the castle too was we either used the methods that would have been employed 800 years ago, or we brought in very old materials. All the lamps, the gates, every nail and every door, everything made by hand over the open fire, everything. The doors all hand planed. We did it as authentically as we could do it. And we created so much detail and tried to show the castle as it evolved over time. Doorway, a new owner would come, I don't want the doorway here, I want it over here, so we'd break it up. We even have a tower that's partly fallen down. But no one can go through here the first time to see it all. There's just so much detail. But and a lot of people don't notice a lot of it, which kind of just disappoints me. But
I noticed all of it. We walked up the stairs, and I could feel the hand hewn. It wasn't machined. I always look at the nails and the screws and everything. And you know what? So I noticed all that yesterday. And then you have so this thing is so authentically built. But this is going to sound really weird. But then you have electric plugs and hoses and water, so you had to plan all that.
Yeah, we have all buried in the wall. We had to do that. At Castello di Amorosa, we're open to the public 7 days a week, and we make great wines. We're getting great scores from Spectator, Robert Parker, so forth, and we sell everything we make only here at the winery. So I invite people, if they care to come, when they come, they'll love it. I mean, people just go nuts when they see this place. And to come and taste the wines as well, and I think they'll enjoy the wines very much too. My feeling is if you're going to do something, you do it. You do it the absolute best you can, and you don't compromise. And so we've tried to take that tack with our wines, with our architecture, and I'm very proud of this place.
You should be really proud of it. And you're going to tell my audience one more time what you just said. If there's something worth doing.
I feel, first of all, you don't do things for money. You do what you love. If you do it for money, you're a prostitute, and probably you won't make a lot of money because you didn't put your whole self into it, your whole heart, your whole passion, everything you have, and so you probably won't be that successful. But if you do something you really love and really have an innate talent for, you'll probably be very successful. Then don't worry about the money. The money's going to come.
Exactly.
So, but do what you love, and that's what I've always tried to do with both of my wineries, with where I've lived, with how I've conducted my life. I try to do what I love, and sometimes I'm a little bit on the fringe according to normal norms.
That's why I love you. I've only just met you, but I love you for that. That is so awesome. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Dario.
Thank you.
We're going to say goodbye to the folks here. Lean in here. We're going to say goodbye. So thank you so much for watching this. I hope you got as much out of this as I did. This is my new best friend.
Thank you, everybody.
Dario Sattui. Thank you. Bye, guys.